Welcome to Let's Talk Literature. I'm Em.
And I'm Will.
And we're two book lovers who wanted to combine our passions for reading and gossiping and share it with the world.
Whether you're looking for a new book to pick up or a new book friend, you come to the right place.
So grab a coffee.
Or a little wine and let's talk literature.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy end of September.
Oh,
to those who celebrate.
Love it, love it. Sad because September is... I like September.
I think September's a great month.
A great month because it gives a lot of hype into the fall season without being too cold. You still get a hint of Labor Day weekend, so you get a little touch of summer still. Yeah. And you
still get hot days. Like today was actually like hot out. Like it was in the 80s.
I know. I went for a nice midday walk on my lunch break, and I was wearing a sweatshirt and shorts, and I was hot.
Yeah.
I was hot.
Yeah, it was hot today.
I am looking forward to the comfortable sweatshirt, short weather.
Me
and
too.
Then us moving into long sleeve, you know?
Long sleeve.
I love a long sleeve.
Long sleeve.
As in like long sleeve pant.
Long sleeve pant.
Yeah.
I'm wearing long sleeve pants.
That's what tonight. I meant. That's what I meant. I'm wearing actually long sleeve shorts right now.
I'm wearing a long sleeve skirt.
First off, what a month for reading for me. I had an incredible month for reading. I read from diverse authors. I did more reading than I did audiobooking, which I feel like over the summer I was doing more audiobooking than reading. So happy with that. I feel like I'm getting back to my roots. I think it was last episode or maybe the episode before where I was saying that I feel like I have to do a whole re-eval of my life and start with small habits. I have been sticking with my habits for the week. So I've been journaling. I've been hydrating. I've been sticking with my nighttime routine. I've been exercising, doing some yoga, not just that
Love
one.
This for you.
Not just doing that one hot yoga class. I've actually been doing a little bit more yoga than just the one class.
Nice.
And I was attempting to start writing my book, which that's kind of the negative of right now. And I completely stressed myself out. Like I thought of an idea and I went down a rabbit hole thinking that like I had to stick with this idea. And then I just completely like lost my mind. And then I got way too involved with like, what am I even doing this for? I felt like I was writing for the reader and not for my own personal benefit.
Like wanting to write, yeah.
Yeah, so I had to take a step back and reflect and recognize what I'm doing it for, why I'm doing it. And I took a few days to just like journal, meditate, read a lot, and just let some ideas flow. I wrote down a bunch of ideas, and I think I finally have a decent idea to work off of. So I'm excited to start outlining that idea, and if I at all feel stressed while doing it, I'm putting the pencil down and giving it time so that I don't stress myself out, you know?
Yeah. I think that's almost like a rite of passage to go through with writing, because I feel like it's so fun to write and like we go into it because we want to write, but then you kind of lose focus of it and think of like the grand picture of everything, and you think like, how am I going to write 300 plus pages? What if this type of person doesn't like it? What if this type of person doesn't understand? And it's just like you kind of can like spiral and lose yourself in that train of thought.
Yep.
If you don't catch yourself. And I find myself doing the same exact thing, so I totally get it. But I'm happy you like kind of came to that realization and you're giving yourself like the grace and like realizing like this is for fun. Like you don't need to write a book. Like obviously we would love to be able to write full-time as our careers, but you don't need to do that. Like you have a job. You don't have to push out a book, you know what I mean? It can be for fun. And I think that's a really good thing to find like the fun in it and make it like a hobby, not just like a habit, but a hobby, like something that you actually are like, oh, I'm excited to write.
I've been talking to you about your book premise and your writing, and you are in a really good spot right now.
I am. I feel like I'm in a very good spot with my idea. I've been in this spot before though, and I lose it sometimes, so I don't want to put too much weight on it. But I will say I'm really passionate about the subject of what I'm writing. I'll give you like a very, very, very brief description. We are going to be, I don't know why I said we, I'm going to be writing, me and Will are writing this book together.
Surprise.
It's going, surprise. That would be actually kind of cool. Maybe one day.
One day.
So the story I want to write is going to be about our main character who is basically working at this wellness resort, quote unquote wellness resort. And it is a lot more sinister and dark and eerie than it seems. And the intentions behind the people who run it are a lot more sinister than what she expects. So I'm really passionate about the subject. I don't want to say like exactly what the subject is because it's kind of going to be a little bit of like a plot thickener. So I won't, but I do feel really passionate about what I'm writing. And I think that that's the most important part. Like I want to write this story so bad. Like I find myself like, we were with our friend Gail this weekend, we were talking about writing and she was saying like with her other book, she found herself like constantly thinking about it. And when I got home that day and I was like, I feel like that actually. Like, I think I've been like pushing myself away from it because I'm like scared to jump in, but I like really feel super passionate about this story. So I am very excited to like get further with it. I really don't have much down, but the idea is there. Thank you. So if you guys are interested in that, hold on. Just stick with us for a little longer, okay? Hold on. But I was going to say maybe we could do like one of our ramble episodes, either like I know October we did last year like a fall themed one, so maybe like November or something we could do like a writing episode, or we could do like an extra bonus one and talk about like our writing. I feel like it would be a good check-in. And I don't know if any of you guys are like aspiring writers or writers, so I don't know, let us know if that's something you would be interested in hearing us talk about, because clearly it's something that we're interested in talking about.
Yeah, I didn't mean to like go off on a little tangent there.
No, I love talking about our writing.
Me too. But besides writing, how have you been? What's going on?
I found my energy levels have been very down, but I also think that could be due to the fact that like I'm not doing as much physically. Like I went from doing so much in the summer and being like able to keep up with it to now I'm like just working from home. And I'm like, okay, I probably need to go out and get that waitressing job now because I'm finding myself like really feeling exhausted. A little bit of a mental block there with wanting to do stuff, but I'm doing okay in that sense. Reading has been great this month, much better than the last few months. Not perfect, but better than the summer. So I'm happy with that. I read a great book this month that I'm excited to share with you guys this episode. I also did get a dog.
Yes.
I adopted another dog that looks like almost identical to Zeus. However, she does have to be spayed still. She is 4 years old. She was at the shelter. She wasn't spayed by her previous owners, and we have a boy dog that is neutered, and they were just not getting along very well at all. So she is getting spayed. Sadly, we had to take her back to the shelter until the spay surgery because they just are not getting along right now. But after her surgery next week, we're bringing her back and we're getting another dog. So I'm very excited. Her name at the shelter is Iggy and Rachel. Not sure why they're both, but they said that that's what her owners called her, Iggy and Rachel. I kind of fuck with Rachel as a dog name. No one else does, but I think it's kind of funny.
That's amazing.
Hey, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Hello, Miss Rachel. But
no, like, imagine that. Someone's like, oh my God, what's her name? Rachel.
Rachel. Rachel.
Oh, like the response you would get.
It's Rachel.
Like, oh my God. Oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. Nice to meet you, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel. No, I asked for the dog's name, not your name. No, that is the dog's name.
Yeah, no, I know. That is the dog's name.
Yeah.
But we were thinking, since she like responds to Iggy, we have Zeus already. We were thinking of naming her Ziggy. Close enough. Ziggy and Zeus. I was calling her. She was with us for one day, one night. 40 days and 40 nights. Yeah, she was with us for one day and one night, and I was calling her Miss Iggy. And she's really well behaved and doesn't like go crazy like Zeus, so she could be a guest star on this podcast for sure. Like, she could just be sitting right here with me. So hang on tight, there will be a dog here.
You're giving
eventually.
me dog fever. Chris and I want to get a dog
Sorry.
by the end of the year or start of next year. So,
well, I'll tell you what. If
hunt.
Miss Iggy and Zeus do not get their shit together, I might have a dog for you. Okay, let's jump into the episode.
Yeah, let's do it. We're getting a little too carried away here.
We are. We're having too much fun again.
I must say that this month I'm on track for this to be the most books I've read in a month of the year.
What?
Yes.
Love this for you.
I read 6 books this month, and I'm currently reading 2. One's an audiobook and one is a physical book.
Wow, that's incredible.
I think since I really just like kind of honed in on a routine, I think now I'm just like, it's a part of it. So it's just, I want to do it. And also, since I got in my head about my own writing, I just want to like consume as much work as possible.
Yeah.
That, I don't know, I feel inspired. And I think that's a really good thing. I read a bunch of different genres, I would say, I think. Yeah, I would say I diversified my genres, but I definitely diversified my authors. I just wanted to, I don't know what the motivation was, but I really just wanted to try different things out and hear different voices. And I think, yeah, potentially we'll have 8 books read, maybe more. We'll see. But I don't know.
Hands off the wheels.
Everyone clap, because that's crazy for me.
That's awesome.
I work full time and I'm doing that, so that's like
that's awesome.
crazy. How about you? How many books did you read this month?
So I have 5 altogether, including our book club book.
Oh my god, still great.
Yeah, such a good improvement from the summer where I had like maybe 2 a month, maybe once I had 3. So I'm super happy with that, and I don't feel like burnt out or anything by it. Like I'm probably gonna start another one tomorrow, possibly tonight. So I think I'll have 6 by the end of the month.
Love to hear it.
Which is pretty darn good for me.
It's the fall season.
It's the fall. It really like
cold
revives
weather,
me.
The cold weather upon us just makes you want to read. I swear.
Amen.
I swear by it.
I swear it too.
So let's jump right into it then. Let's do this.
Right.
Let's start
off with our.
You read my mind.
Our
I know
book club
exactly
girl.
what you're gonna say. Mm-hmm. That, my friends, is Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. Catabasis, not Catabasis. Catabasis.
Well, you're gonna be a little upset with this. If you guys didn't watch the episode where we discussed this, go watch that. We talked very in depth about this book. We had a fantastic conversation.
It was one of our best book club discussions for sure.
It was awesome. I ended up leaving between a 3.75 and a 3 and a 4. 3.75 and 4. I went onto my Goodreads today, right before we started recording, to just pull up like my list, and I realized I never marked Catabasis as finished, so I marked it, and it asked me the rating, and I was like, am I going up or down?
You went 3.5.
I did, and I went 3 for Goodreads.
And that's okay. And that's
because you know what?
Okay.
I haven't thought about it at all.
Hey, and you know what? It happens.
It happens. I haven't thought about it a lick since we discussed it.
That is A-okay.
So I was like, you know what? That's not good. It's sitting at a 3 for me.
So this is actually going to be funny because on the episode,
it went up.
I think I gave it a 4.5 on the episode, right?
That's a 5.
Then directly after the episode, I went and reviewed it on my Goodreads and Fable, and I was like, fuck it, a 5. Like, I'll give it a 5. Now I'm actually thinking, I don't know if I'll change my rating from a 5 on my platforms, but I think in my mind it's a 4.75.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think it's just nearly a 5. I just don't think there was something. Do I stand by everything I said in that last episode? Yes.
Yeah.
Was there things that I said in that episode that, like, looking back and, like, rewatching the episode, I was like, was that me that said that? Like, I didn't even recognize that I could, like, analyze text like that.
No, you really went off.
I was impressed with myself. Not to toot my own horn,
great.
but I'm tooting it. I'm tooting it. Yeah, I will still stand by. This book was amazing. I think everything that she did was intentional. I think I sent you a TikTok of something talking about her magic system, and I was like, look, everything about what she did was intentional. And I think that's when I got a read from you that you didn't I don't think your rating stood the test of time because you were like,
it didn't
hit for me. And I was like,
yeah, I was
right.
like, I get it, but like, no.
It's all right. There was just something about it. I think it's going to be a 4.75, but I'm going to keep it as a 5 on all my platforms. It's fine. Just know that if you're a real one and you watch the podcast, it's a 4.75.
You know the real rating.
I'm currently reading the book that I wanted us to pick for another book club, which was These Summer Storms by Sarah McLean.
We were really rooting for that one.
I was really rooting for it. I actually like pushed me and Em to put this in 2 separate polls for 2 different book clubs, and it never got voted on. So maybe that was a sign. I'm 40 pages in. She's slow. She's definitely slow. I'm going to stick with it. I'll keep you guys updated. Check out my socials for the review. The other one that I'm listening to is Julie Chan is Dead by Lian Zhang. I am not even joking. I have laughed out loud at this book.
It's so good.
It's hilarious. It also, like, there's certain books
that are witty.
There's certain books that are so like cringe when it comes to talking about social media, mentioning TikTok, Instagram. Like, there's some books where you read that and it's like, I'm putting this down. I can't do it. This does it so well. Like, so incredibly well. It doesn't feel fake or like someone is being a poser and trying to like get down to a Gen Z level. This feels like someone who knows the Gen Z language. And it doesn't feel
isn't
weird.
Using it like using like TikTok terms and stuff like that. Like, they're just talking plainly.
Exactly. They understand how to use it to not come off as cringe. I'm so locked in.
Such a good book. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, I think I'm like a third of the way through. So I'm finishing this probably in the next couple days. Like, it's getting done. My first book in the wrap up is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa. This is a dystopian fiction novel. This is set on an unnamed island, a very mysterious island. The island's inhabitants slowly lose their memories over time. They'll forget, and then that item or that thing disappears entirely.
Yeah.
From existence. And there's this controlling authoritarian government called the Memory Police that enforces these disappearances, and it's basically a story that follows the protagonist and how they navigate through this society. Really intriguing premise, really intriguing start. I was hooked from the start, but this was unfortunately a book where the premise outweighed the execution. Similar kind of vibe to Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I think this had really good bones. I think this had really like something there. It really fizzled out as it went on. With the current state of the United States right now, this was a scary parallel to how some people in our society are just trying to make certain things disappear as if they never happened, or they try to change how things were in the past. Very similar tie to what's happening in our world right now in the United States. By the end of this book, I just kind of felt like that was it. Like, what do you mean? It kind of ends on a really morbid note, which kind of leaves you feeling like empty. So I guess I would say the beginning and then like the really at the end is what grabbed me to this book.
Yeah.
You lost me in the middle. The middle was just kind of meh. You know, I was expecting a bit more from this, unfortunately. For dystopian fiction, it's decent, but I'm not going to go out of my way to recommend it. But if you come across it and you want to pick it up, give it a try, you know? So with that, I gave it a 3.25, but I'm really thinking it's a 3.
My first one I'm sharing with you guys is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. This is her newest release. Have I read Alice Feeney before? I have, and I thought she was okay. I forget what the one I read was.
You read it was the His
Darling
and Hers?
Girls. Oh, His and Hers. Yeah, I read His and Hers, and I didn't think it was good. I picked this one up, 1, because it's a new book, and I was intrigued by it, and 2, sounded like a good premise for a mystery thriller. So we are following our main character, who is a middle-aged man. He is an author, and one night his wife disappears. He's on the phone with her. She's on her drive home. She sees somebody in the middle of the road while they're on the phone together, and then just disappears, and she's gone. Fast forward a year later, he's still not writing. He has a really hard time coping with her disappearance. She was never found. he's just not doing great, and his literary agent, who happens to be his wife's godmother, I believe, offers him the opportunity to stay at this cabin that she was left in this kind of secluded island. I want to say it's off the coast of Maine, but don't quote me on that. I'm not sure. So it's this very secluded private island that she has a house on, and she is saying to him, why don't you go stay there for a couple weeks, be by yourself, get away, and write a book. Okay, just go there and write the damn book. So he decides to go. He brings his dog, and he notices like right away it's a very weird island. There's only one way to get on. It is through a ferry, and you can only bring your car on the ferry if you are a permanent resident of the island. The island has maybe 30 residents on it. It's a very, very tiny community. And as soon as he gets there, he starts to feel like everybody is like watching him. And it's a little unsettling. The way it starts is really cool. We see him kind of like getting his footing around the island, figuring out what his role would be there if he were to stay a little bit longer, and like kind of getting back in touch with his writing. And then it kind of takes a little bit of a twist. A typical like thriller shock value twist. It was an interesting story. The first half was so much better than the second half. I was on the road to this being like a 5-star thriller at the beginning.
Which is rare. I think that's a rare thing. Yeah,
like it was so good. I was really hooked from the beginning. I really liked the way that she wrote the narration from the man's perspective. And you can tell he's like kind of got like a little bit of like an unreliable narrator vibe to him, and I really like that in a thriller. Kept me guessing. I just felt like the last like I guess like 30 to 50% of the book just wasn't good. It was one of those books where you kind of don't understand what's real and what's not, and I feel like that has to be done delicately in order to like make sense, be followed, and like play out well. And I just didn't think it played out that well. I didn't feel any sort of connection to any of the characters that I think I was supposed to feel a connection to for it to like warrant the ending that it got. I just didn't love it. Because I loved the beginning so much, I felt like I had to rate this 3 stars.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it at 3 stars because the beginning was so well done, and like the idea and like the way she wrote the island was so well done. It's probably closer to a 2.5, but I'm going to just keep it at a 3. Give it the glory because that first half was phenomenal, but I wouldn't recommend this. I know a lot of people really, really loved it, though, so I do think it's a personal preference kind of thing.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I do love a story, though, that, like, you can't tell what's real and what's not.
Me too. Like,
so this sounds like a book here that I would love. Yes. And not to go off on a tangent, but I can never go a day without thinking about that book.
No, I know. I feel like we talked about it every day this week.
I know, we did. And like there's people that hate that book. Hate it.
I know.
We
loved it though. It was good, but I feel like that book was able to do that like confusion and like that state of like you have no idea what is real and what's not really well, whereas this book I didn't like it.
A book that also does that really well is The Haunting of Hill House.
It does.
Love that book too, which was a book club pick. So go check out that episode. That was a good one.
Yeah, so that was mine.
Damn, that's a shame.
It was okay. I would give it in one word. Okay.
Damn. Yeah, I'm not going to pick that up.
Decent. No.
Definitely not picking that up.
Yeah, no.
I'm going to pivot because this is not a thriller at all. My next book was As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow by Zulfa Katu. This was a gut-wrenching book. Gut-wrenching. The premise, short premise is, this is the story of Salama Kassab, a pharmacy student in war-torn Syria who works in a hospital during the Syrian Revolution. Torn between her desire to flee and her loyalty to her country, Salama must navigate the horrors of war, grapple with PTSD personified as her fear, quaff, and find hope amidst devastation, all while caring for her pregnant sister-in-law.
That sounds great.
It was So good. So good. And the personification of her fear as this being was so well done. It was so well done. Um, this was a recommendation to me. I think I was recommended it around March. I went out for St. Patrick's Day and I met some girl that out at the bar and she was like, "You have to read this book," because she was a friend of a friend and she knew I was in the book, so she was like, "You have to read this book." And then it took me a few months to get into it, but I got it. I got into it and she wasn't lying. It was breathtaking, harrowing, unbelievably beautiful. Like, so good. It is marketed as a YA, which I can see the way it was written being very, very YA, but it really does dive into some really deep stuff. I had zero expectations really going into this book. It was just a roller coaster of emotion. Like, each chapter, there was just something happened, and just had to go along with the journey of it. And it was a story really about following her journey and being alongside her. And this really just gave me a deeper perspective and understanding of a lot of atrocities that take place overseas that we really don't know about as Americans. Like, we are not, it's just sad that like a lot of stories and a lot of events are just brushed under the rug, especially during the climate of our world right now. There's a lot of things that are censored. There's a lot of things that are just not shown to us, and a lot of things that we are told to turn a blind eye, or not taught, turn a blind eye to. And it just goes to show that there are so many things that we are ignorant to as a society because it doesn't affect us. And this story really draws attention to that sentiment of like, you need to pay attention because things like this are happening and you have the privilege to not know. And it really just gave me a lot of perspective in that realm. I think it was a privilege to follow this main character. I learned a lot. I garnered a new perspective of just a war-torn country and just what someone can go through and how they're treated, especially a woman. It was really sad. It was really, really sad. But through it all, our main character stayed true to herself. It's a story about resilience. It's a story about sacrifice and just about love in all of its forms. How you show love, how you receive love, and how love can persevere even in the most horrible of situations.
Yeah.
I'm really glad that this girl recommended this book to me because I never would have even known about it. But it was on my TBR and I picked it up and I'm so glad I did.
That sounds fantastic. I will definitely add it to my TBR.
I ended up rating it a 4 out of 5. I really did. Really did enjoy my time with it. So, yeah.
Gorgeous. Well, I'm happy you read that because that's a great recommendation, it sounds like.
Thank you.
So hopefully I will be talking about that soon on my wrap-ups.
You should. Okay. You should.
My next one I have for you is a little funky.
All right.
I was very excited for this one. I bought a copy of this book when I still worked at Barnes & Noble, okay? A long time ago. Okay. This is Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Caw, a horror novel, short story.
Cover. What a cover.
Love the cover. She's frightening. I was so excited for this. This was like on my list because when I was working at Barnes & Noble, we had so many copies of these. I don't know why. And I was always like really drawn to this cover in like a very scared way.
Yeah.
And when I quit, I used my discount to get a bunch of books and this was one of them. So this story follows a group of friends who travel to Japan. It's really weird. I'm just going to warn you now. It's really weird. They travel to Japan and stay at this abandoned castle mansion that is in crumbles basically for a wedding. It's 5 of them and 2 of them are getting married and they rent or they get approval to stay on this ground and have the wedding there. And there's a lot of Japanese folklore surrounding the castle, and there's a lot of horror stories about people who have been murdered there. And the tale is that when this castle was built, it was built for this woman who her husband died before they got married or something, and so she like ordered herself to be like buried with the castle or something. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Just read the book if you're really interested. But long story short, I didn't like it. Long story short, there's a history that girls have been sacrificed for like decades, centuries to this castle, and there's a ghost who lives there and takes women so that she isn't so lonely because she was buried in the castle all by herself. So she is like haunting this place, and these friends decide to go and have their wedding there. That's literally the entire book, them having the wedding there, and like the night takes obviously a very dark and twisted and paranormal horrible turn. I love a story like that. I love a movie like that. I didn't love this. I really didn't love this. I think most of it was just poorly written dialogue. The characters all were annoying beyond belief, and they spent the entire book like fighting about stupid stuff when they were like in the middle of like possibly being possessed, and I just hated everybody. Like I wanted them all to get killed by this ghost because I was so annoyed by how they were handling everything. So when I finished this very short book, I was thankful to be done.
How long is it?
124 pages.
Oh, so she's short.
She's short. She's very short. I didn't hate this book, but I disliked it. I'm giving it a 1.5. I gave it a I gave it a 2 on Goodreads.
I didn't hate it, but I'm giving it a 1.5.
I gave it a 2 on Goodreads, okay? I didn't hate it, but I did dislike it. So I personally wouldn't recommend this one. I wish I had a better recommendation for you guys if you're looking for like a short story horror book. Hopefully I'll have some for you eventually. Right now I don't have any replacements, but I don't recommend this one. I didn't like it. I didn't like the characters.
What made you not just give it a 1 star? Like what was the redeeming quality to it?
I liked the like Japanese folklore.
Okay.
I liked that there was like thought behind it. It didn't just feel like it was just a haunted house. Like
a BuzzFeed Unsolved episode.
Yeah, exactly. Like it had like actual like history to it, and like she did a decent job at like creating a history to the castle. So like it was interesting enough, but I felt like it was just like bad dialogue. The writing was real flowery, like it was a lot.
Ooh, okay.
It just wasn't it.
Was it self-published?
So no, I don't recommend this.
Do you know if it's self-published?
It is published by Tom Doherty Associates, which is a publisher in... Oh, it's a imprint under Macmillan.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And she's like a kind of well-known author. She has other like short stories too. So I don't know. It wasn't good.
Wasn't it?
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No need to apologize. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. That's what we're all about here, is being raw, authentic, and real. All right?
Amen.
Amen. I have another book for you guys. We're going to take it to the investigative thriller route. All right? Ooh. We have All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. I have been told to read S.A. Cosby so many times. I was so excited to read this book. I actually picked this book up at a pop-up in Philly. Got it for $10. Was so happy. Got it secondhand. It was great. Great condition. I really do love the cover. This follows Titus Crown, the first black sheriff in a rural Virginia county, as he investigates a brutal serial killer who targets black children, forcing him to confront the community's deep-seated racism, corruption, and a disturbing history rooted in religious extremism and violence. By that premise alone, I was like, I'm hooked. I've been really on like a true crime kick lately. Me and Chris have been watching a lot of true crime documentaries, and this just felt like I needed to read this right now. I wasn't like, I need to read All the Sinners Bleed first by S.A. Cosby. I was going to read any S.A. Cosby book, and this was the one that came across my desk. All right? I devoured it. I really did enjoy the book from the beginning. It started a little slow. Then it kind of like boots you right into the action in chapter 2 and 3. And then you follow the sheriff, Titus, through this investigation of these crimes. And when I tell you these crimes are brutal, they're brutal. Read trigger warnings. It gets pretty graphic. Just be warned. I did really like following his character. I thought he was really real and authentic. I think that S.A. Cosby did a really good job of shaping the character through his learned experiences. He is an ex-FBI agent turned sheriff for this county, and you learn like, because it seems like that seemed like a demotion to go to like a rural town to become the sheriff. You learn why that's the case, and you learn what his past experiences did to him and how they shaped him into who he is. I loved that part of it. This also immersed you in the, like the blurb said, the extremism of the church, as well as extreme racial prejudices and discrimination and injustices. I thought that this book had a lot to say on that, and I ate it up. I thought that it did such a good job diving into the corruption of the church and how that ties into some deep-seated racism in the South. I think it was so well done. I'm pretty sure S.A. Cosby is from Virginia, so I'm sure that he pulled from experience for things that he went through growing up. And you could just feel that like this was a very personal thing for him, that this character I felt like was very personal to him. And you can feel that. You can feel the emotion through this character. And I just wanted to dive even more into that part of the book. I think it was just so well done. Unfortunately, I was so disappointed on how this book was wrapped up, to the point where I think it took the enjoyment out of the book. Damn. In the sense of the investigation portion. I was locked in. I had theories going on in my head of
you had trying like a whiteboard up.
Yes, literally.
Red string drawn.
Tying it together to see like this person was really sus in this in this interaction. This person, oh, we haven't seen this person in a while. This person wasn't here at this point.
And was it like a stupid answer?
When I tell you, I felt as though the reveal was so random. It was talked about throughout the book, but how it was revealed made no real tie to what you read up until that point, which I didn't like at all, because I felt like we spent a lot of time getting to know the church and how there's this division between the white supremacists of the town and also the black community in the town. And that conflict, we did such a deep dive into that. There was also so many minor characters that we talked about, and there was a lot of minor characters tied to Titus that I thought were going to play a major role in the falling action and the climax of this book. And it kind of just like, oh, here's the reveal, the end. And I was like, oh, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? I feel like we're missing 50 pages of this book. This is a book where I wanted it to be a little longer, to be honest. I was invested in the intricacies of this book. Like I said, I was invested in the conversation that it was having, but the actual plot came to a screeching halt, and then that was it. I'd say 75% of it was amazing, great. The last 25% lost me. Rating is a 3.75.
Okay, that was my first question. My second question is, do you think I would like it?
I do.
Or do you think I should read it?
I think you should read it.
But not like in a rush.
I wouldn't put it on the top of your list to read.
Okay.
I actually want to read another one of his books and see, because there's
get back to me on that.
There's a book that's more popular than this one that I'm going to read called Razorblade Tears. I'm going to read that. I'll let you know which one you should read from the two.
Gorgeous.
And then go from there.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right, my next one I have was one of my most anticipated reads for not even just this month, but this year. We have The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. This was her introduction into adult fantasy. She had previously written the One Dark Window duology, which is a young adult fantasy, and I loved it. I loved that fantasy duology so much. I think she wrote it incredibly well. The magic system was so well fleshed out. The like little touches of romance were great. It was awesome. Loved those books. So The Night and the Moth follows this this fantasy world known as the Stonewater Kingdom. And it is kind of based around, instead of like a central king, they do have a king, but he's not like the head of this kingdom. It is a diviner, like a group of diviners, and the abbess, which is like basically the church of the kingdom. So we have our main woman, who is like almost like a pope figure. Think that. Like, she's this very holy figure, and she has these 6 girls who are known as diviners, and they wear these shrouds around their eyes and you can't see them, and they're kind of these like almost mythical creatures. Like, if people in town like were to see them, they would like feel like they were blessed by the gods, you know, like they represent like this holy, higher than thou kind of thing. So what they do is they can read people's omens. Specifically in this book, they read the king's omens. So he comes up to the cathedral, and our main character, who is named Six, the 6 girls are just called by their numbers. They don't have their actual names, and you figure out like why, and it's all very interesting. She does his reading, and she reads his omens, and he has like a very poor reading. He has like all bad omens, and we don't know why, and that's kind of where the story really picks up, and there's a romance that blossoms between her and one of the king's knights. The plot itself was really good. I really loved the plot. I loved the direction it took, the messages behind it. I really enjoyed the characters. I just don't think I loved her writing style for this book, and I still don't think I can put my finger on why. It almost felt like more juvenile of a writing style than the One Dark Window duology, which is weird because that's YA and this is adult fantasy. So I'm not really sure like what happened there. Like, for example, she added like curse words in at like weird times, like, and it almost felt like she was adding curses to like
make it adult.
Like,
I see.
Like, they're adult, they curse. You know what I mean? It just felt like a little too fair. on the head. I don't know. I'm having a tough time with this one because I can't exactly figure out what I didn't love, but I didn't love it. The pacing wasn't awesome. It started great and it ended great. I loved the way it ended. It set itself up for a fantastic second book, which I will be reading because I am invested in the plot. I think that the middle was just a little bit slower, and the writing style felt like it lost me a little bit. I didn't find myself like wanting to come back to it so much, which was a disappointment. But I will say overall, I did like the book. I really liked the story. I really loved our main character. She's awesome. I loved, there's like a gargoyle character and he's so funny. I loved like the comedic timing that she wrote for him to have.
Yeah.
It was good. It was a good book. It just wasn't as good as I had hoped it would have been compared to how much I liked One Dark Window. So I gave it a 3.5.
Do you think you were comparing it to One Dark Window too much? That like maybe because One Dark Window, that's a 5-star read for you, right?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Exactly. So like I think maybe you loved the duology too. Did you give 5 stars to Two Twisted Crowns as well?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe you were comparing it to that because you loved the duology so much that it just failed in comparison.
It just almost felt like a different author, which was weird. Like the way that she was able to create the magic system was great. Like, she did a great job. It did feel like Rachel Gillick writing because of that. But the actual like word choice, I would say, like threw me off. I don't know. But I think I'm in the minority for this.
Was her duology her debut? Do you know?
Yes, I think so.
Do you think since she now became such a beloved author that she was writing for an audience and for her own voice?
Maybe, but I don't know. Like, it didn't feel like she was just trying to like hit tropes or anything like that. Like,
okay, that's
good. It wasn't
good,
like in that sense. Yeah, like it didn't feel like that. Like I'm so serious. Like, the book was good. Like, the plot was good. The characters were good. But like something about like her word choice and her writing style just like lost me. And if anybody read it and they relate and they could put it into better words, let me know.
Comment below.
My
next book here is There by Tommy Orange. This book was something that I was not planning to read this month, but I was going through Libby looking through for audiobooks,
and this was available. And I knew that this was very well acclaimed by critics and audiences alike. So I thought, why not? This story is about urban Native Americans converging at a powwow in Oakland as characters confront their intergenerational trauma, struggles with identity, and a culture trying to survive in the modern world. It takes 12 perspectives from different Native American characters. Wow. And it's like different point of views. Like you were writing from different point of views. Some got more time, some got more time than others, but it was overlapping POVs converging into one final event. Gotta say, impressed that was something he was able to tackle with a debut. That's insane. Yeah. I was extremely impressed by that. He was also able to expand my perspective on the Native experience, which was something that I've never read from before. So this was definitely very eye-opening for me. And for a book that had so many different perspectives to read from, it was a bit overwhelming, I'm not going to lie, but it was both written, like his prose was both profound, but also very digestible, very conversational. So you were able to understand what he was trying to get across. There was one point in the book, the interlude of the story, that had my jaw on the floor. It was one of the most beautifully written passages I have read, and one of the most impactful passages that I've read. Wow. That it literally left me gawked. Not even joking. Gawked. But I will say, since there was so much shifting around POV wise, I did get a little confused at times. But it did not take away from the impact that it had on me. The last 20% of this book, I couldn't breathe. I was glued to the page. I need to know what happened. The beginning was a bit slow. It was definitely tough to get into at first, but I'm glad I stuck with it. I really am. And I definitely would recommend that you pick it up. And by the end, I gave it a 4 out of 5. So definitely awesome. Definitely a good pick for the month.
I'm very happy to hear that. That description you just gave made me want to read it. So thank you for that.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, it's supposed to be considered a modern classic. So for someone's debut to be that is very impressive.
Insane. Yeah, that's incredible. All right, my very last book for today. I saved the best for last. I just finished this morning and can't even say it might be with my favorites. I love this book.
6 stars?
I'm going to read you guys. I rated it a 5.
Okay.
I need to think. Okay, let me think. This is The Bells by Lacey N. Dunham. I was sent this by Atria like maybe 2 weeks ago, and I love the cover. Like, I was drawn by the cover. Let me read you the description because it's so good. It's 1951 at Bellerton, a secluded all-women's college, and Dina Williams is doing her best to blend in with her wealthy and perfectly groomed peers. Notorious for its strict rules as much as its prestige, Bellerton could give Dina the affluent life she's only dreamed of. She quickly forms an alliance with the 5 other freshmen on her floor, and soon they are singled out by the president's wife as the most promising girls of their class. She anoints them the Bells. They walk the college's halls in unison, matching velvet ribbons in their hair. But no sisterhood comes without secrets, and the Bells are no exception. Playing cruel pranks on their dormitory house mother and embarking on boundary-shattering night games, the Bells test the limits of the campus rules. But as Dina begins to piece together the sinister history of Bellerton, her own past threatens to come to light, forcing her to make a dangerous choice. A chilling and seductive coming-of-age story, The Bells is an excavation of the dark side of girlhood, the intricacies of privilege, and the unbridled desire to belong at any cost.
That sounds like a book that would be exactly up your alley.
It was perfect.
Did Atria reach out to you and say, "Are you interested in this?" or did they just send it to you?
No, they just sent it to me.
Actually, I forget if they know you.
I think it's Atria that does like the forms, and you can select which ones you're interested in. And I guess I did for this one. Either I did that or they just sent it to me. I don't remember because I think I filled it out a while ago. but they only give you like a tiny little blurb, and I'm usually just like, yeah, that sounds good. Like, yeah, sure. Whatever reason it was sent to me, I'm so thankful because this book was fantastic. I really don't want to talk about it too much because I think it's one of those books you should go into it with like kind of no expectations or thoughts other than the blurb. I thought it was so good. The like bigger message behind it on like the classism and the privilege that like these white girls have in the 50s at this all girls school, the way that she's able to write it, craft these characters to like be followers, and then end the story in such like a like almost jaw-dropping way was so good. She perfectly wrote like a group of girls who are all like influenced by each other, and like, oh, it was just so good. Like I'm just gonna stop there. I'm going to stop there because I want you guys to just pick it up and trust me. Like I really want you to just trust me and then come back and let me know your thoughts. If you liked Bunny, you'll like this. It's less weird, more like sinister and like girlhood rather than like odd. I also think if you like dark academia, obviously you'd like this. It's a very dark college setting in the 50s. So there's a lot of prose about like racism, gender roles, classism, privilege, stuff like that. And like the description said, like what you do to fit in. It was so good. It was so fantastic. Definitely 5 stars. A book I will be thinking about for a while. And this is her debut.
Oh, I love that. I love when a debut can just...
Good job, Lacey.
Oh, that's amazing. Is that something that you think I would like to read?
Yes.
Okay.
It is.
Then I might have to borrow that. Please and thank you.
I would like that.
Thank you. Okay, we can do a little exchange. We have some books that we have to trade.
Put together a little box.
Yeah, exactly. Our own PR boxes for each other.
Oh, I actually kind of love that idea.
That's
kind of cute. All right, well, yeah, so that wraps up my month so far. Ended on such a fantastic note. Will,
that's great. I have one more book as well. And guys, this is nothing new here. This one's nothing new. I read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. I finally read it. I, for some reason, just had an aversion to reading Frida McFadden's books. I don't know why. I don't know why. And kept saying, like, you're gonna read it so quickly. Like, you're just going to. And I always was like, I don't think so. I don't think it's for me. I really don't think it's for me.
You didn't trust me.
Guys, one day. I'm not even joking. Half a day. I read this in half a day. I read it in one sitting. Was it the most profound book I've ever read? No. Did it tackle deeper conversations on more meta concepts? Maybe, but not really. Not really at all. Was it unpredictable? No, it was so predictable. Was it, the ending was so, like, crazy you didn't even think that was going to happen? No, it was convenient. It was predictable. It was convenient.
But you ate it up.
I ate it up. I ate this
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, like, really good, but it's so fun.
I couldn't put this book down even if I tried. I had things to do, and I just read it. I just read it. That's really all I have to say. I mean, like, there's nothing more to say about this book that hasn't already been said. I think millions and millions of people have read this book. So I'm not going to add anything new to the conversation. There's the adaptation coming out in December, so that kind of pushed me to read this, even though Sydney Sweeney is starring in it, which I'm not really.
Yeah.
But Amanda Seyfried is in it.
Not happy
Love
with
her.
her choices.
I love Amanda Seyfried, so I'll be watching for her. I definitely could picture everything in this book too. So I really just gotta trust M at the end of the day. I think that's just the moral of the story here.
Moral of the episode. Thank you.
I rated it a 3.25 because, like, did I predict the ending? Yeah. But did I still enjoy it? Yeah. It was actually really funny to me. I'm not going to spoil anything if you're the one person that, besides me, that didn't read it. But like the way that it tied up at the end was the most convenient thing in the world.
And I know. That's how all of her books are.
I was just like, oh, like that's convenient. That's literally what I said. That's literally what I said. Yeah. Oh, of course.
Do you get what I mean now when I say, like, I literally feel like I'm in a toxic relationship with Frida McFadden. Like, anytime she writes something, I'm like, I have to read it because it's such a good time. But it's like, it's not good. But, it's so entertaining.
Will I spend my money on another one of her books? Probably not.
No, but they're like all always on Kindle Unlimited, and there's like 8 quadrillion copies at the library always.
Yeah. So like if I really need to pick me up, I'll probably read another one of her books.
Exactly. It's a good palate cleanser.
It was only a matter of time, guys. It was only a matter of time.
Had to.
And it's a great intro to the fall season. So I just
good work.
Know. That was my Monday. That was my Monday.
Nice. Well, I'm very happy that you read it. It was about time.
Yeah, so happy about that. Like I said, 3.25. Like I can't give it anything higher than that. Maybe a 3.5, but even then, like it didn't even like wow me because I was just like, I kind of knew that was coming. There's also a lot of books that this was clearly the template. This was clearly the playbook for a lot of other books out there.
Yeah.
I've read Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I'm sure, I don't know which one came first, but one of them took inspiration from the other. Because there was a lot of similarities.
Very interesting.
But yeah, that's my wrap up for the month. Be sure to tune into Em and I's personal TikToks, Instagram, social medias to see what else we ended up reading this month, because we still have about a week left in the month.
We do. There's plenty of time for another book or two.
Plenty of time.
For our October book club, we are recording this on a Tuesday where the poll on Fable has not yet closed. We are under the impression that it likely will end with a tie for the choice for next month's book. So when this episode comes out, do us a little favor. Go over to Fable and help us break the tie. We will have a poll up for the 2 books that we are between for the month of October. They both sound fantastic, and we can't really go wrong either way. But if you're listening to this, if you make it this far, go over to Fable for us, give a vote, pick which one you'd rather read in October, and then do yourself another favor and recommend the club to a friend, because, like we always say, you'll get a $5 credit towards a book of your choice if you purchase it through Fable.
Amazing. Yeah, and if you're not a part of the book club already, what are you doing? There are 350 of us over in the book club, and you could join us for the great discussions that we have every single month. With that being said, I think that's it for today's episode. Thank you guys for watching. We always appreciate you guys sticking around this long. If you have stuck around this long, comment below an apple.
An apple.
Do an apple. It's September.
An apple.
It's September.
It feels right.
It feels right. It feels right.
All right, guys, if you enjoyed it, please leave us a 5-star review. Leave us any comments. Let us know what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, what you read this month. And that is it for us. Thank you for spending your Friday with us. And we will see you next week for another episode of Let's Talk Literature.
Bye.